What's going on, everybody? My name is CD, and today we're going to be talking about the best MP5 loadout, in my opinion. So for Warzone, there's really two submachine guns that you should be using in your loadout. So the first one is the MP7, and the second one is the MP5. Now, there are definitely some differences and some pros and cons for both. For one, the MP7, in my opinion, is more of a all-around better SMG. So it can hit some long shots because it doesn't really have much recoil, but it does take a lot more bullets to kill than the MP5. So the MP5 is a much better secondary weapon, like you can see in this class right here. So we have the Growl, or if you're more of an M4A1 player, put that on as your primary. You then have the Overkill class with the MP5. The MP5 is just great for those close range fights. It's not going to win you many medium range, and it's definitely not going to hit any long range gunfights, but that's why you have that Growl or that M4A1 or whatever your primary may be. But if you're trying to run a class like this with a sniper, you probably want to use that MP7 because it acts more as your primary weapon. Now, I'm not going to go into my MP7 attachments. I actually have a video out for that, so you guys can go check that out, the best MP7 loadout for Warzone. Today we're going to talk about the MP5. So right here you guys can see the MP5 setup that I've been using here for a little bit. I think it's perfect. There's a lot of little changes that I've made and kind of flipped back and forth from for a while. And there's a lot of different variants that I see people use, whether it's streamers or just random MP5s that you pick up. So we'll talk about that here and talk about why I'm choosing each attachment. So the first thing is first, as you can see, we're not running the monolithic suppressor muzzle. We're actually running the monolithic integral suppressor barrel. Now what this does is it gives your weapon a little bit more accuracy and a little bit more range. And it's actually marginally better than just the monolithic suppressor muzzle. So that one was kind of an easy change, and I saw some other videos on it as well that this integrated suppressor is better than just that muzzle. Next up, we'll go over here to the stock. So this is one that I've seen a lot of people take off. So if you're going to take off one of these attachments, I guess you take off this stock. But the FTAC collapsible stock just makes the MP5 so much quicker, and it helps out in a few ways in Warzone. So one is when you're trying to run across a large field and when you're trying to get to a certain area quicker, you pull out your MP5 and you can actually run faster than people running with a Growl or an M4 or even an MP7. So having this on makes you quick. It makes you kind of feel agile with that submachine gun. It does hurt your accuracy range and your control, but I think it's worth it. Moving down to the underbarrel, I have seen some people use the commando foregrip to get you a little bit of that range, that recoil stabilization, but mainly you're going to be using this gun, like I said previously, for those really close range gunfights. So the Merc foregrip is the best in those situations. So that's helping your recoil control as well as your hip fire accuracy. So you don't always just have to ADS. You can actually kind of hip fire spray this when they're that close, and you can see how much it actually improves the accuracy. The Merc foregrip is the best underbarrel for the MP5. Next up, something I went back and forth on, the 45 round mags. So some people do prefer the 10mm auto 30 round mags, which obviously makes you shoot a little bit slower, but the bullets hit a little harder. But I think in this case, in Warzone, it's actually better to have more bullets. And when I was playing with the 30 round mags, I felt like the MP5 just bounced around a little bit too much. So if you're missing some of your shots, you only have 30 shots there. So I feel like 45 is a better place to go because of how much health there really is in Warzone. And then finally here, another thing that is a little controversial on the MP5, I've been using the rubberized grip tape, which helps with that recoil control. Now, a lot of people would wonder why you don't use the stippled grip tape, and I think there's definitely a benefit to using the stippled grip tape, but for whatever reason, I feel that the pro of the ADS speed and the sprint to fire speed is definitely good, but I like the recoil control a little bit better. It helps you maybe win a medium range gunfight with this, where stippled is definitely going to make you win those up close, but we already have everything else tailored to that. So that little bit of recoil control can definitely help you out. And this is definitely something I would suggest trying out if you haven't already. If you don't like it, go to the stipple. This one is more, I think, personal preference. Now, some other things that I've seen people try out, taking off this stock and adding in the TAC laser, I think is helpful. It's definitely a good MP5. Also, I've seen people take off the stock and add in some sort of perk, like a sleight of hand, or if this is like your final class in the end of Warzone, maybe even fully loaded. But this is the MP5 that I've been using lately in Warzone, and it's absolutely destroying, like I said, with the Growl for those long range gunfights. But let me know in the comments down below what you guys think about the MP5, what you guys think about this setup if you've tried it, or what small changes you may make that you think make the best MP5 loadout. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to click that like button if you guys did enjoy it. Sub if you guys have not already. We'll see you guys later.